Are we ready?
Yes, says the hedgie. It's time to start filming, maybe, Mama.
Yes, the 2 chairs. My mom did actually come up, and I am happy I have them stored. I think storage is the key to this 24 hours challenge. All right, and I got my computer set up. All right. In this video, I am Tanis Corley. In this video, I'm Tanis Corley right now. I'm Tanis Corley Leonhardi, always. And this is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. And this video is, well, I've talked about some ideals, talked about some dreams. All right. For the my who and my wedding situation scenario. What my who is looking like is going to be Dominique Sabosla. And so, what if things don't go that way? And I've discussed that a little bit with the flip-flopped, which that can still be a dream if he, if it's about preferences and him getting his preference, right? It's still a dream. The 4-day, 3-night scenario. So this is for my hypothetical, my who, my wedding. And the scenario, the wedding is time coincident with if/when I move out of where I currently live, my parents' house, and in with my soulmates. And I'm filming this on Wednesday, December 2023. It's approximately 5:30. I'll put the starting time, filming time. This is a single take video in the video description. And I'll put links in the video descriptions to the non-flip-flopped scenario, like synchronized videos for moving it in the wedding, the timeline and tasks for that scenario, and then the flip-flop scenario. So this is covering 3 additional scenarios. This is a reminder that my soulmates, movers, helpers, wedding attendees could arrive at any time, whenever, wherever I and my family may be. Mom or dad could holler, "They're here!" Try and beat them to the doorbell or something like that. That kind of thing. And then the motivation, before I go into the options, I'm going to go through 3 options. The motivation behind this is a little bit like, what if my parents really do want me out of here really quick? Or what if there's like, it's just really not the right time, right? When they show up to movies. So this is kind of, I'm going to call this 3 options that are like in a day. Instead of 4 days and 3 nights, it's kind of like a day or less, if we can, kind of thing. And there's an additional motivation of when I was approximately 9 years old, and I'm approximately 31 years old, so 21, 22 years ago. There was this assembly at school, and these people from Apple came and spoke, and I remember we had like a computer lab with Apple computers that they'd gotten through a grant program. Yes, our school was poor like that. But the cutting edge in technology ahead of some schools, because there was a laptop program and stuff. But I don't know if we were able to use the laptops at that point in time. There was like a cart with laptops and it got pushed around. And they were talking, and I remember getting so embarrassed during the feeling embarrassed, and because what the people from Apple came and talked about, or like the experts, was exactly what we had learned from our teachers. And I remember getting so frustrated. My mom interpreted it as embarrassment, I guess, and because we learned nothing. It was like an hour or 2 hour long assembly, and they said the exact same as the teachers, and I was so frustrated because I really like to learn, and it was a complete waste of time. And my mom, after the fact, I was one of those kids where my mom especially really wanted to make sure we helped with clean up and stuff. So I was helping clean up the assembly or something like that. And she was like, "You're just jealous because you want to work there." And I remember being like, what? And the hell is that? I don't get jealous. Also, that's a sin, right? I was like, right, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's belongings," right? Much less take it. So the covet, breaking the commandment on "thou shalt not covet" is a sin. Lying, saying that somebody doesn't want something but they really do, and then like stealing would be like actually trying to take that thing. The trifecta of sinning of copycats. Kind of thing. And I just remember being like, well, I learned something new about my mom that day. Not jealous whatsoever. And I'm actually not a jealous type, period. That's just not my thing. But I just remember I was embarrassed because it wasted my time, and I was frustrated because I wanted to learn. And so this actually comes behind the day or less motivation of, you know, sometimes you just really don't know when people are gonna say something completely false, erroneous, and attacking about a person's character that in no way is consistent with reality, but they push it as the truth. Right? So we don't want that at our wedding, and we don't want that after our wedding, kind of thing. So this is kind of taking that into account and being like, well, if we're concerned that might happen, we might have to minimize the time here. And maybe my parents don't want us here, right? Maybe they just want to kind of kick me out. I'll compare and contrast. Okay, so option 1 is minimal spacing between components, but we retain all the components. So that would be like Dominique arrives, we go get proposed to, we do the rehearsal that day, same day, and we do the for lunch or something, do the rehearsal ceremony and rehearsal lunch instead of dinner, lunch or dessert instead of dinner and dessert, then do the wedding in the evening, and then have everything moved out by the end of the day. That's option 1. Option 2, a public park. So essentially we get engaged at I've showed the Deer Creek Park location before. Essentially go get proposed to and then have the wedding there, and that would be one where my parents don't want to partake, right? We're assuming they say yes to having the wedding in the house. If they say no to having the wedding in the house, once they're there, right, they could change their mind and be like, no, we don't like this guy, right? So if the wedding is held here, it means they like the guy and that kind of thing. But accepting that reality and being like, I'm a non-monetizing YouTuber, I'm not doing this for commercial production, that kind of thing, so I can actually film in a park, right? If you need permits and stuff like that if you're doing it for commercial usage. So I'm like, we could still do the recording and stuff, but if my parents really don't want to be involved, public park. Okay. All right, and do the proposal and then do the wedding, or do a very quick rehearsal. So I suppose all 3 components could be retained, but for, be very, with one big meal after, but we might lose some components there. And then the third option is as fast as possible. So that would be like, he proposes on the doorstep when he arrives and is like, wedding start, and let's get everything out of this house as fast as possible, which is to be contrasted with as soon as possible, right? As soon as possible means something that happens as soon as it can, but as fast as possible, right, is like the duration of something, right? So as opposed to how close it is to happening. Those are different concepts. Okay, so I'm going to compare and contrast that with the baseline and flip-flop scenarios. So comparison here means similarity, contrasting means differences. So the similarity here is a wedding happening that is time coincident with me moving, right? If a wedding doesn't happen at the same time as me moving, then it's not time coincident with it. Okay, kind of thing. So that's how they're similar. How they're different. The first one, so the baseline scenario, 4 days, 3 nights, where the first day is the proposal, second day is the rehearsal, third day is the official ceremony, and then the 4th day is the breakfast after. It actually retains the cultural norm and social norm of each of those components getting its own day. So it's in that sense, it is the most sped up version of what normally happens, right? There's a proposal at some point in time. There's the rehearsal, dinner, and ceremony the day before the wedding. So that's 3 days. And then there's the morning after the wedding, right? So it can be broken down to 4 basic days. So that is retained with the baseline scenario. The flip-flop scenario retains the 4 days. However, the wedding comes before the rehearsal. So it's not the same order, but it's the same number of days. And it gives allowance to a man kind of switching things up, and it has a unique kind of how we fill in the after the wedding with the rehearsal and the breakfast. So kind of a filming fun thing, right? Deviates minorly from social norms in certain contexts. It might be like how a lot of reality television is filmed, but that's not necessarily a norm currently these days for weddings. We could help bring about a change in that way. I don't know. Okay, so, and then these other 3 options are 1 day or less. All right, so speed here is the big difference between the baseline and flip-flopped and these other 3 options. Okay, last notes, or tangent if one wants to say that. Notes for arriving at home in Aberdeen. Potentially there's a greeter named Hubert Coase. Notes about life after the move /wedding. We're going to pursue our dreams and the dreams of the squirrel/critters. I will add there's expectations from Hungary and the Hungarian press and Hungarian Football Association that if we do take up residence in Hungary, Dominique Szoboszlai and I, that I will return to soccer, even if just with my Dominique and possibly some of my other soulmates. Okay, there is an expectation, and I aim to live up to that expectation. And places to build for us, we'll go there, even if it's indoor soccer. I've done indoor soccer. There's also futsal, which is different than the indoor soccer I did. So there's like outdoor soccer, indoor soccer, futsal. I've not done futsal, but you know, I'm up for what my soulmate is up to. And then check-ins, so town of Woodway, the new thing kind of taking its place could be Bridge of Dawn in Aberdeen if we're living in Aberdeen, and Crean's Cross taking the place of Innisarden for my Yelp check-ins, if you follow that. So, and then conclusion, concerns about peeing. I'm feeling more in control of my bodily functions. I think thinking through this, talking through it, I'm like tempering my expectations and anticipations and being like, it's gonna be okay, you know? Even if I have to lie down on the floor, or even if I have to go find a stuffed animal, be it Leon or Hedgie, and hug them, or hug my Szoboszlai and just be like, it's okay, I'm not peeing, right? Just kind of accepting that reality. Peeing out of excitement here, okay, which is a normal and actually very animal, primal excitement reaction, not just for humans. And there's some people, you know, if I laugh really hard, I pee. So that one's pretty well known socially with humans anyway. Yeah, anyway, so that was 3 stripped down and streamlined scenarios for my hypothetical, my who and my wedding. I'm Tanis Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. This is Wednesday, 20 December 2023, as of filming this in the city of Shoreline, King County, Washington State, United States of America. Planet Earth the original. Happy day and time of viewing whenever you're viewing this, and happy place of viewing this wherever you're viewing this from.